We are live. Real Takes Over Fake Debates, SB Talk Sports. Sean Webb in the building, and it is Monday, your favorite day of the week. Shout out to Swift Energy. Go to swiftenergy.gg. Use code RTOFD to get 20% off every time you order. Sean, happy Monday. How are you feeling, brother, after All-Star Weekend?
Oh man, so disappointed. So disappointed. Like, but I'm sure, yeah, I'm just disappointed. There's no other way to say it's just completely disappointed. But how about you, man? How you doing?
Oh no, that by far. Let me say it one time. By far, the worst All-Star weekend I have ever consumed in my basketball fandom life. Let me say it again. The worst All-Star weekend I have watched in my life. Garbage. Complete trash. 100% trash. I was not impressed. I text you mid-game because I was on and off watching because I weren't watching the game. I was on to watch the first half and I was like disgusted. So when I actually settle into the crib, watch it, I text you. I say, Sean, man, you see this? You said, man, I turned the game off. You said, I'm not watching it. I can, this, I know how bad the All-Star game was, right, Sean? And shout out everybody in chat. Shout out Nicholas. Shout out Tiffany. Karl Anthony Towns, Sean, had 50 off the bench. And I bet you don't even remember how many points he scored and how he scored his points. How did he dominate to get 50 like that, or it was just given to him? It was I was disappointed, Sean. It was 100% bad all the way around. And honestly, you can argue, Sean, that they competed harder in the celebrity game than they did the All-Star game.
They did. Now, SB, I don't even know where to start. Where you want to start?
Whatever we go top to bottom, we go reverse order because we got the All-Star game was trash, the dunk contest was trash. We got the three-point contest. Don't worry, we're going to cook on that Curry and Sabrina thing later on in the show. We got the skill challenge where we got Scotty Barnes, my cousin, being skill challenge, shooting shots like this. It was a circus. So whatever you want to go, because it's tit for tat anywhere you go.
What I saw last night, and just keep in mind, this is Real Takes Over Fake Debates. So we don't say stuff just to argue or anything like that.
We do not do that over here. I'm not going to argue.
What I saw last night was some of the worst televised basketball I have ever watched in my life. The worst. It's literally. So I go back long enough to remember All-Star games being very competitive. And then if the game was a blowout, you might have guys, trying some trick passes and throwing some alley-oops and, whatever. But even early in the game, it was competitive. And I don't want to hear about guys worried about getting hurt and guys complaining about, oh, we don't get paid for this, and this is a vacation, and blah, blah, blah. It was so bad. It was so bad. And not only that, earlier, so every Sunday, they do a Legends brunch, right? And a lot of the All-Stars are there with the NBA legends. And Larry freaking Bird gets up to speak because the game's in Indiana. He's obviously from Indiana. And he basically implores the guys to play competitive basketball tonight.
They did the complete opposite.
They was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like literally, it was like, okay. And it's been so So, and I'm gonna say this from a personal note. This from a personal note. So, my birthday is always around All Star Weekend. All Star Week, watching All Star Weekend since I was a kid, because it always fell around my birthday, was always a treat. That was always kind of like the thing I always wanted to do around my birthday. I've been to All Star events, stuff like that, whatever, blah blah blah, and it was a horrible way to end a celebration. It was so bad. Like, it was just, there was no way around it. And I watched some of the pregame stuff before last night. And before the pregame, they had a segment about the 1964 All-Star game. So it's the 60th anniversary of the 1964 All-Star game. And for those people who don't know, the historical significance of that All-Star game is that it's the All-Star game where the All-Stars threatened not to play because they were fighting for the league and the owners in particular to recognize them as a union. So, led by Tom Heinsohn and Jerry West and Oscar Robertson and Elgin Baylor and Bill Russell, these guys are all in the room, and Lenny Wilkens, Wayne Embry, legends, some of who are still with us. Still with us. We're talking about literally worrying about if they don't play this game, that the owners are basically going to say you will no longer play in the NBA, like really black out of the league, right? And to see them talk about the story and talk about what they were fighting for and what they were willing to give up to fight for what was right, to basically say, we will not play in this televised game because we know this game is important to you. Here's our 11. We will not play in this game. And then less than an hour later, for the 2024 All-Star game to kick off, and for that to be the effort and for that to be the showing,
disrespectful.
It was complete. It was just so, and you have people like Oscar Robertson and Jerry West who played in that 1994 All-Star
courtside,
sitting courtside watching this nonsense. And if I don't know if you saw because there wasn't no highlights. If you saw the cut twos for some of the legends at the game, the disgust on Oscar Robertson's face, sitting there courtside watching that nonsense, it was very telling. And I'll make last point because I know we got a guest coming in. I want to say this real quick. So for those who don't know, the NBA is in the process of renegotiating or negotiating a new media rights deal.
Yes.
Right? A new media rights deal. New media rights deal means that's your money maker. That's how you bring it. That's your revenue. One of the biggest selling points for the media rights deal is All-Star Weekend, the greatest showcase you have of talent.
Thank you.
For your season.
Thank you.
Why on earth would any media platform, Turner, Disney, Amazon, your mama's on, any's on, decide they're going to get in bed with the NBA and spend billions of dollars to show that crap that we watched last night?
Can't do it.
Bunch of 24 of the most spoiled, entitled, excuse my language, assholes I've ever seen in my life. That was what that was last night.
100%.
And don't tell me you worried about getting hurt. Don't tell me the game don't matter.
I think them play hard at UCLA in the summer league in the college gym with nobody watching. Way harder runs. I don't think anybody broke a sweat.
Literally, the 1992 Dream Team in practice against each other, 11 of the greatest players in the world in a practice, went way harder than that.
And that's where the real problem stems from. They not understanding that. Nobody asks you to play like it's game 7. Play like how y'all play on the regular. Show some competitiveness. Show something. I literally got nothing from it. No,
Yes.
but I digress. Like you said, we do have a guest coming in. One of the guys who always go crazy with a lot of his takes. We got A30 in the building. Sturdy, what's going on, brother? If you're still here, Sturdy. What's going on, Sturdy?
Salute everybody. I wouldn't say
Salute,
crazy. I would say passionate accuracy about the facts. That's how I would break it down to that. But like, let's salute everybody.
salute, Sturdy.
Salute 30.
In regards to this All Star weekend in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be straightforward. The first 2.5 days wasn't bad. To be honest with you, I enjoyed the Rising Star Challenge. I took the Celebrity Challenge for what it was. It had some good moments, right? Then we follow up with Saturday events. Wasn't too bad either. I did appreciate there were some upsets, some NBA teams lost to a G League team, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Some teams, the NBA did a great job showing talent on this entire umbrella by showing the capability of the NBA with the Sabrina versus Curry and the 3-point challenge and the dunk contest. Believe it or not, it had some good dunks. I don't think the right guy should have made to the finals, but that's no here nor there. But overall, like, yes, the All Star game was trash. There was no competition. There was no defense. It was just straight offense. Honestly, the only defense that we did see was Kevin Durant closing out to Damian Lillard. I think we saw a block or two, but that's pretty much it.
Sturdy,
And
it was 3 fouls in the whole game.
mhm.
That's
my
terrible.
response to that is, as fans, we have to do better. As fans, we don't hold the right people accountable in the right way. And the thing is, I'm not going to blame the players for leveraging something that's obtainable. These players understand throughout the year, throughout different generations. I noticed the common trend is the awareness of who the player are, how they see themselves. They see themselves as assets, as businessmen, in which they are. So, me personally, I don't mind them. Because Sean brought up a good point. This was the anniversary of the players unified against a potential message against the
Oscar Robert
NBA.
rolling over his grave right now, dog.
But I think the misnomer situation is the fact that the reality is these are different set of players. I don't understand the notion of why, instead of fans holding the right people accountable, we rather say you guys are not like the guys in the past. You guys aren't like these guys that we used to love. And reality is they wasn't going in the same conditions. They wasn't exposed to the same level of scrutiny, or the media didn't have this much leverage over guys' legacy and money. And so what the NBA did, Adam Silver, right? He actually displayed the solution that is possible to get more attention awareness for the All-Star game. Just how the NBA was having revenue issues prior to the season, primarily because of health and COVID, not because of low management, primarily because of health and COVID. The ratings for this year has been high since 2018. Matter of fact, they project it might surpass 2018 ratings.
That's bad.
And the reason,
that's a bad sign.
No, that's not. It's not a bad sign, because it's actually a good sign. SB. The reason why, because a few reasons why the ratings are back up. One, we're past COVID. Two, majority of the All-Star and All-NBA caliber players are healthy. Over 90% of the All-NBA caliber players are healthy. We haven't had that in the last 4 seasons. AD only missed 4 games, SB.
I'm happy for AD for that too. I'm not going to deny. I'm actually proud that AD only missed 4 games. Shout out AD. I'm actually happy because his street clothes joke all this year.
Like the unfortunate 2 guys that's unanimous top 20 players that aren't playing is Embiid and Ja. Everybody else is playing. So that's contributing to the ratings getting back up. Another thing that helped with the ratings was the good idea from Adam Silver. How can we attract more people during the early stage of the season, the in-season tournament? The in-season tournament proven, Adam Silver, that is proven that you have the right incentives to get the product that you desire.
Right.
because of the NCAA tournament, a lot of people know revenue went up by 25%. Ratings went up by 25%. Merchandise, jersey included with everything associated with the NCAA tournament went up by 25%. So to me, I saw it as a players utilizing their leverage to obtain more money. And I see no problem with that. It's not like at the end of the day, you guys play multiple sports coming up. I play multiple sports coming up. Certain expedition games, you don't need to go all out. I'm being straightforward.
Okay.
You don't need to.
My problem is this though, Sturdy, right? They done benefited, like I'm glad you brought up the 1964 series, right? They done benefited so much for the Legends, right? And I'm cool. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm cool with you trying to leverage yourself for money. That's perfectly fine. But you done already leveraged just yourself with so much money. Now it's getting to the point being greedy. You getting to the point that's a sin to be that greedy, bro. The players are getting paid the most money ever. This is the league that got probably the best players union. Anytime the players have a problem, they get fixed. They support player mobility more than the owners. I feel like this is the only league that give the players more love than the owners. And we asked you one night, not play like it's game 7 in the finals. Just compete a little bit. Make the game look competitive a little bit. Because you could have easily sold the game where now, obviously the East scored 100.5. That was bad. You could at least sold the game a little bit where it's like, all right, they kind of went up. But if you would have had a great, excellent, super competitive fourth quarter, nobody would have said nothing. It even happened when they had to change the rules for the Kobe style rule, where it was like it was iffy in the first half. Second half, when it was a set score, they took off. Nobody remember how bad the trash first half was because they felt like that set score, everybody competed, and they changed it out. It was literally 0 to no effort in the game. A team put up 200 and some points. Cat gave you 50 off the bench. And you could argue who should have won MVP during the game. That's my problem, Sturdy. Like, it's cool you say leverage your money, but we done gave y'all everything y'all asked for. All I asked for one night. Just give me one night y'all compete. This is the biggest night, biggest star, just compete. If you telling me you leverage after everything else we gave you, that's too much. You might as well Adam Silver might just turn back, get on that David Stern type time. And then if that's the case,
it's not a given, SB. It's a business. Everyone is just a compromise. So I like how fans, we like to emphasize like just one night. Can you please give us competition now as if we don't have a full 82 games? Last time I checked, players been competing all season so far. All season.
So to that, Sturdy, I'm not disagreeing. Obviously, players have been competing better. You know, the 65 game rule. I think the fact that they had to put in a rule that you got to play a certain number of games to get you to come to work so you can get your money and be eligible for certain incentives is very telling. But also, let's keep in mind the next NBA game, I don't believe it's till Thursday. Right? Part of my issue is back in the day, All-Star weekend the game ended Sunday night. You were back with your team Monday. You might have a Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Players said, hey, listen, All-Star weekend is very tiring. They ask us to do a lot, which I know guys do a lot. We need some time off. Adam Silver said, sure, we'll push the start of the kickback up for the season at later in the week to give you some time to get ready. And that's the effort. I can see like, okay, yeah, if you got a game tomorrow night, like, hey, listen, I'm not going to go 100% because I got a game tomorrow night. You don't play again until Thursday, maybe Friday at the earliest.
Come on now, Sturdy. Come on now. You can't.
So I get what you're saying. And I get what you're saying. I just maybe I'm being anecdotal about it. I personally never like gave that much of a care in terms of like the performance of All-Stars during All-Star game. That's just me personally. I never did.
Yeah, but I think again, the only issue is yes, not looking at the performance, we're looking at the effort. Right? Mm-hmm. It was clear that there was no effort. Right? You can have a bad performance in an All-Star game, but to just say flat out, I'm just not gonna play with any effort. I'm literally gonna run, 2 feet here, pull up from 78 feet, and You know what I mean? Like I think that's part of the problem. Is like at a certain point when you step on the court, and I don't know, and I can't speak for anybody else. When you step on the court, I don't care how old you are, compete. If I were playing against my mother, I'm not winning. Like it's
1,000%.
That's all. There is no, because I don't want nobody having nothing over me. Like nothing. I'm gonna tell y'all this story real quick, and I don't want to harp on this too long. I was in the 4th grade, and one of my PE teachers thought, "Hey, he's got some potential. I want to hook him up with this coach who's got a traveling team." So she makes connection with my mom and my soon-to-be stepfather at the time, and she's like, "Hey, I got a coach that I think you should take him over and meet him and let him try out. Blah blah blah. He's looking for players." So I go. It's my first time playing organized basketball, right? I go. I do the tryout. I go through everything. Coach puts this kid on me, little white kid on me, and this kid rips me probably 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, I'm not used to this. Like, whatever. I overhear the coach telling my soon-to-be stepfather after the tryout, "Hey, he's got some potential, but he's not ready for this level yet." I heard that. That drove me forever. Every time I've been on the court since that day, as a 9-year-old, anytime I get on the court, if I see a white guy and he's guarding me, I think I'm just being real. I honestly that. I don't remember the kid's name, don't remember what he looks like. But if I see a white guy on the court and he's guarding me, I go back to that 9-year-old who was getting
barbecue chicken. That's funny.
So it doesn't exhibition, regular season, playoffs, finals, whatever. Play.
They didn't play no game.
Right. They don't burn the tape. They don't say, "Oh, you know what? This wasn't a good one. We're just gonna burn it." This lives in infamy.
It was probably more 2-on-1 fast break, Sean, than I've seen ever in my life. It was literally like they miss, they go down the court and score. It's literally one defender. That's literally you're not playing. You're not even playing the game at this point.
The thing is, Sean, like I said before, I just think what this season showed me is that the new set of players, right? They're not going to play. They're not going to give a competitive effort if they don't deem it worth something. If they don't deem it's the game or the circumstance is value enough to them, then they're not going to compete. They're just not. And I get it. We as fans, every time we see basketball players on the court, that's our expectation every single time, no matter what the circumstances. And I'm just saying is like it's just not realistic, especially with this group of players that we've seen display their action so far. And in regards to the 60-game rule, that's once again, I think that was a great media play for them to obtain more leverage. Because once again, as fans, it's our fault for being gullible and not holding the right people accountable. It's not the player's fault for low management. It's not. It's the front office. It's the coaching staff. It's the organizations. That's what it is. I can't blame a player for being hurt. Which, like, it's funny too. Like, we forget that between 2020 and 2021, that was the shortest off season, and those injuries literally led up to the next season of injuries. That's not low management. What's low management is Greg Popovich in 2013. Sean, you remember as a Heat fan? TNT game, what was it, down in December? He didn't even send the starting 5 with the team, Sean.
Yeah.
And then when they asked him about it, he gave the Jordan shrug. He like, so?
Hey, they put Tim Duncan out one year for the Spurs is old. They just said old, bro. I was wrong.
Oh, that's not players. That's the genesis of low management, not the players. So what the media did, and as a fans, we gave the league the extra fire and attention because we dictate the narratives based off the amount of attention we give it. We let the media lie and say it's the players' fault for the low management. Because it's the players' fault, this 65 game rule is justified for not only for the awards but also for players' contracts.
I think again, I think load management did start with the organization, but I think again, there's a fine line between, hey, listen, we're trying to make sure that this guy in year 16 or 17 doesn't put too many miles on their legs versus a guy who's 23 and is like, hey, you know what? Just take a night off. You know what I mean? I think I understand your point, Sturdy, and I'm not disagreeing that there was, to a degree, a certain rationale for load management. But I think you could take anything too far, right? It's you go to Golden Corral. If you eat more than 2 plates, you're being greedy. And I think what was happening,
come on, Sean.
being too greedy.
I'll say this, Sean, is right. Think about it from this. Think about it from this, right? You say young players were doing load management. Can you give me an example of any young players load management? Because the guys that get the poster child for load management, we all know his name, Kawhi. But doing our research, it actually was the Toronto Raptors who literally negotiated with Kawhi, saying, "We're going to allow you to load manage during the regular season. It's okay with us." That's been reported.
Right.
Load management started with the Greg Popovich in the Spurs. That's reported. So it's like I don't recall. And Sean, maybe like I said, you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't recall. The only players I've seen getting load managed are the players that's initiated from the organization and/or older veterans. And I don't have a problem with Steph Curry or LeBron or KD, guys who put 16, 15 plus years in, saying, "Oh, right, I don't feel like going back to back." They put nearly 1,000 games. They did their work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sturdy. That's a whole different argument. But when you got a guy who, again, hadn't put in that amount of work, that just says, you know what, I just need a night off. Just give me a night off. It's like you don't get it back. Like how many older players, Sturdy, in your life have you heard? And I'm saying older, meaning retired players. Have you heard say, "I physically still wish I could do it. I physically still wish I could play in the NBA."
No, they left it all online.
Right.
That's all online.
And all I'm saying is, and again, I don't know who people have as their GOAT. But again, all I know is there's a guy who believed in playing for the love of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, all the stuff that came with it was a part of it, but the love of the game. So if it was a Tuesday in August, and it's the all season, and he sees a 5-on-5 game he wants to jump in, he's gonna jump in that game. So all I'm saying is you don't get it back. You just don't get it back. And I think that's what's happened. And again, I'm not saying there's one rationale or one source for what has happened. I think it goes back to youth basketball. I think there's way too much emphasis on games and not enough on practice and skill development in American basketball.
Facts.
You don't see the young European kids playing this many games at that age that you're seeing our American kids playing at that age.
Depends on if they prodigy. They're prodigy. They playing in pros. They playing about the same amount of games.
But I'm saying they're not playing that many games at 8, 9, 10 years old. Maybe at 15 or 16.
Yeah, 15, you compete with grown men.
Yeah, you compete with grown men. But I'm not talking. I'm talking like at 8, 9, 10 years old, where you're playing year-round basketball, basically. So I think that factors into it too. I think there's a lot of things that come with it. I'm just saying, I think my very bottom line, and again, this is a much more nuanced conversation, is what happened to when I step on the court, I'm going to give you what I got, regardless of what type of game it is, right? Because again, I don't know about you, Sturdy. I don't know about you, SB. I've had the chance to pick up with some NBA players. They don't play. They come out there, they don't want you getting nothing on them, especially if you ain't in the league. You hit a jumper on them, you're going to hear about it. And I know because I've heard about it. So at the end of the day, when you step on the court, just come to play. And again, nobody's trying to hurt you. Nobody's trying to, say, hey, go out there and get injured. And do whatever. But when you step between those lines, you got to play.
You got to play. And then before I get my take on this point, because I think that injury logic they using as a cover up is BS. But Blue Ball wants to know who you put the onus for the All-Star Weekend being subpar for the past couple years. I say the players playing on the court for me. What y'all got for that? What y'all answer?
When we in regards to the whole All-Star Weekend, actually, like I said, the reason why I mentioned the other events, that's part of All-Star Weekend too.
Mm-hmm.
All the other events was good. I'm being real with you. All the other events was good. Just the All-Star game was trash, right? So even when I look back the last couple of years, it's been the same method. The dunk contest is the dunk contest. We have a different discussion about that. But I thought overall it's been decent for an overall weekend. To answer Blue Ball's question.
I don't know, but we gonna get into that in a second. But Sean,
The
what's your
3-point
answer?
contest was good. The Rise and Start, the few memorable celebrity games besides the ones that was canceled, it was good.
Yeah. But yeah, Sean, what about you? What's your answer to this question for the last couple of years? What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of different culprits. I just think it's a lot of different culprits. I think some is on the players. I think some is on the league. I think some is on the fans who have to, and a lot is on the media who have basically said rings is all that matters. Because again, I hear the Skip Baselesses and the Stephen Loud Smiths and the Colin Cowturds of the world sit up and talk about rings and rings and rings and all rings. But then you'll sit around and complain about the effort from last night. Well, you told these guys, you've been telling these guys since you had a show that rings is all that matters. So I think it's a lot of culprits. It's a lot of people that are responsible. And the onus on us as fans is that we continue to tune in knowing that this last night was just the worst. But there have been years where it has been almost this bad, but not nearly as bad as it was last night.
Yeah, it was completely awful. So my take is a lot of things that made me mad, right? Because this is the next part I want to go from to how to fix it, right? Before we keep going. I was pissed at the fact of because Sturdy, you brought this up. I just want to stay on the point, like you about the older players, like the LeBrons, the KDs, the Currys. These dudes on the way out the league. Why is y'all sitting in an interview asking LeBron James in year 20, who played about 8 minutes, his ankle was kind of messed up, who played about 8-10 minutes a game? LeBron only got 1 or 2 more All-Star games in them, and one of those All-Star games is going to be the honor of his career. Why in the HE double hockey system I'm asking the dude who want to tailor his career how to fix the All-Star game? LeBron should barely be playing in the All-Star game because that's how the next level of the next guy should be competing and be that good that, hey, LeBron, you had your time, this our time. Sit on the side. You shouldn't be asking. If I was LeBron, I'm looking like, bro, I'm on the tail end of my freaking career. Don't ask me how to fix the All-Star game. The people in front of me who supposed to take my spot should be doing their job, just like I did behind the people before me. You can't ask a dude. Nobody asked Jordan during his Wizard years how to fix something in the future of the league. For what? He's finna leave. It makes no sense to me, and that blows me. But true honesty, and Sean, I'm glad you brought that point about the ring thing, because we do, as fans in the media culture, try to push this ring culture. The LeBron and Jordan debate really ruin a lot of things, that the middle things to enjoy the NBA. Everybody just want to go from the beginning to the end. They don't understand that, you got to put the lettuce, the meat, the tomatoes, the pickles, the mayo all on a sandwich. You can't just have 2 breads. You can't just say rings and MVPs and then it makes you the GOAT. No, everything else in between. The All-Star game, the All-Star game MVPs. How many times you average this? How many times you the scoring leader, defensive? All that other stuff matters too. Stop telling everybody the only thing that matters is rings. You ruining it. And then for the players, I don't want to keep hearing that I got to add an incentive for this, add an incentive for this, add an incentive for this, for you to do your job. because now that make me question. I want to know just yes or no answer, y'all, for this. If they drop the league minimum to $1 million, will half the league probably be gone? Because I don't think a lot of these dudes don't love the game. I think half the league will be gone if they drop it to $1 million.
I believe would definitely be gone.
Yeah, they don't love the game, dog. They don't. Because for the love of the game, like, bro, you getting paid to play basketball, bro. I can literally go outside right now and do what you do for a living. Somebody paying you millions of dollars. No. I'm just saying, no. I'm not saying I play at the level of them. I'm just saying for something I can just walk outside and do, we are paying to see you do it because you are so good at this. That's what I'm saying. Like, this ain't like no, you ain't no firefighter, you ain't no teacher, you ain't no police officer, you ain't nothing that contributes to nothing important in life. It's just entertainment. It's a game. It's Monopoly. It's like if you was like the best Monopoly player, and people like it's like video games, Street Fighter. They got Street Fighter Tekken tournaments now, and you getting paid to play a game. Something we thought you loved to do.
SB, I can't say that because once again, as customers, we put those things on those platforms. From an entertainment perspective, that entertainment generated over $300 million revenue. Every single, and y'all know this, every single All-Star city, every single city that hosts the All-Star game, your economic value, not just for that weekend, but for that year, shoots up. So we as customers, we put those on the pedestal. And another thing too, damn, what you remember earlier, but when the reason why they asked LeBron that question, SB, is the same answer of why they put Steph Curry, the Lakers, and the Warriors having the most televised games. The Warriors has 42, the Lakers have 41. And that's because this is what happens when you market your sport through individual players.
And I think
not teams.
And I think that was wrong to do that too.
No, David Stern said that. David Stern said after he retired, that's one of his biggest regrets. The fact that he marketed individual players too much. That's why they asked LeBron that.
Yeah, because if you notice every other, well, I'm gonna say football. Why football is so successful? No matter who on that team, people gonna still rock with that team. And people, and I feel like basketball is the only sport. Well, first of all, like if we have a conversation, right, and I'd be like, man, bro, the Lakers, they look bad, they management bad. You know what they say to me? SB, you a Bulls fan. What you know? You talk about this, and that. But if I was an individual, just like I rock this one player, then they respect my point. And that's done to me because basketball is the only sport where fans frown upon you for being a fan of a team if they ain't winning. Or you just go watch them, they trash. No, that's part of being a fan. Football, I know it's a whole Commander fan base. People make Commander, and the Commanders been trash. The Panthers been trash.
SB, we can't lie. I was on personal panels with you guys where we had hours sessions of roasting the Browns fans for being trash. Like that happens. Like if your team trash, you got to take that blunt of it. You know what I'm saying?
But they ain't gonna lead their fan base though. Basketball fans, they'll lead their fan base, bro. Basketball fans, all right, look, I ain't rocking. I ain't a Bulls fan. I'm a Derrick Rose fan.
Lee and Khalil still Browns fans. It's crazy.
Yeah, you got to rock with your squad. But honest question too, before we go on to the next, because we got to talk about this Steph Curry thing. How to fix the All-Star weekend, and then opinion on each segment individually. Let's start with you, the guest. You go first.
All right, I think, like I said, the more you just gotta. It just for these type of guys, in my opinion, the first thing I think you make the winner of any conference, that the winner for those set teams, those teams get an extra win in the W column for the regular season. And the second thing is, I'll be honest with you, they already play for charity anyway, but the NBA has to find a middle ground to like, what's the monetary incentives I can give to all stars to make them compete? Because unfortunately, that's what these group of guys show, at least for the All-Star game. For the 3-point contest, keep it the same. Honestly, they're doing a great job. Keep it the same. Don't think I would change though. I thought it's a slight tweak when they had that 4-way tie for 26 between Halliburton, Cat, Dame, and yeah, those four. Instead of having like the knockout round being who?
It was Trey Young.
Trey Young.
Yeah.
Instead of having a knockout round being like 30 seconds, either have it be a full minute or just move on. Like you still have the finals round. That's the only thing I would change. Besides that, the 3-point contest, nothing wrong with that. The rising stars, obviously nothing wrong with that. I'll say same thing for celebrities. Don't think for the dunk contest. NBA need to realize this, right? The NBA was never built off stars being a dunk contest. It was built off NBA players doing great dunks. And you got the best dunkers who was guys on the come up, young players on the come up.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe did it as a rookie. Vince Carter did it. What was it, Sean? In his first 3 years?
I believe so. Or
who's 30?
Yeah.
he said
What year?
his first 3 years. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, what year Vince Carter got drafted?
98. They didn't have
98.
They didn't have an All-Star game in 99 though. So he was not in it because they didn't have one. So it was 2000 when he was in it. And then
2000. So that's just that.
First 3 years.
That was his first 3 years. Blake Griffin in his first 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
The only person in recent memory since Jordan and Dominique, and shout out to Gil, he said this, he pointed this out, was Dwight Howard. A guy that was an established superstar that brought those titles or dunks. He was the only guy. So that tells me that the NBA needs to find a better job of incentivizing the real dunkers, the young dunkers to get in the dunk contest.
Like Ja, Ant-Man.
They have a combine. They have a combine. Like so you know who's athletic enough to do these dunks. No one wants to see Jaylen Brown dunk over Kai Sent. No one wants to see that.
but you know what, Sturdy, I'm gonna say this real quick because I agree with you. Nobody wants to see it. But I want to give props to Jaylen Brown because it wasn't not a good performance, to be clear. But for him to be a multiple-time All-Star, and people can argue whether or not he's a superstar or not, I think that's a very subjective thing.
You're getting paid like it.
He's a multiple-time All-Star. He is basically the Scottie Pippen on the best team in the league. At this point in his career, to say I'll be in the dunk contest, I got to give him some props for that. Because there are guys who, at this juncture in their career, wouldn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The guys who did it around that time, like Andre Drummond, DeAndre Jordan, it didn't fit, Sean. I get what you're saying. Well, they did it as all-stars, but like that was a weird fit.
Yeah. So I appreciate that he at least was okay with it and wasn't worried about the backlash from the performance or losing to a dude who's not even in the league technically. So I got no problem with him doing it. I wish more guys would say, you know what? It's bigger than me. This can help save the dunk contest. But go ahead, Sturdy. What else would you change?
But with the dunk contest, to cap it off, some more objective judges. I'm sick of the narrative of somebody getting robbed. Bro.
D-Wade, dirty. D-Wade, dirty dog. He a dirty dog for what he did.
Hey, Sean, that's you expect from dudes from Chicago, man. They expect to be capable of that.
And that's crazy.
So, but objective judges, NBA doing a better job scouting out the guys that can actually dunk. There's a difference between a dunker and a dunk contest dunker. And I want to cap it off the dunk contest by saying this: what's the number one dunk contest people go to that say it's the best, at least in recent history? 2016.
2016, yeah.
Right? And remember those 2 back-to-back seasons where they actually went to go get professional dunkers instead of having NBA dunkers for the All-Star weekend? But the ratings wasn't high. That tells us that the audience is not about the dunks per se. It's about the audience wants to see NBA players perform those dunks. So, and the best way to do that is to get guys coming in who has most name to prove with younger legs. Right. And that's the way and that's how it would change the All-Star weekend. That's it.
See, go ahead, Sean. What you got? How would you fix All-Star weekend?
So a couple things. I agree with some of Sturdy's points. First things first. Saturday night, the 3-point contest is last.
Mm-hmm.
That has surpassed the dunk contest. The 3-point contest is like the home run derby at MLB All-Star weekend. It's the highlight. We are in a shooting league. Let's highlight the best shooters in the world because the 3-point contest typically does attract the best shooters in the world.
Yes, it
Right.
does.
So move that later. As far as the All-Star game, I was back and forth about should they go to a USA versus the world format. I think that's where they're going to try to do what they're going to try to do next year to try to make it competitive. We got enough great international talent, all-star level talent, international talent, that you could have a competitive USA versus the world all-star game. Is time. And if you decide you're not going to do that and you're going to keep it East versus West, I think the loser of the all-star game, all the players should have all their DMs leaked.
Oh,
no, you
no,
wildin'.
Sean.
You
No,
wildin'.
that's
Hey, they'll be playing super. They'll be playing super hard. Then
You want to get them to compete? Tell them the loser got to leak their DMs.
Oh no, that ain't gonna happen.
No, I'm serious.
That's not even worth it.
Think about it.
I wouldn't want to be in the All-Star game.
Think about it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you ain't got nothing to hide, you ain't worried.
Hey, you see, they just called LeBron like it's something on Twitter.
I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm a low major first half of the season. I'm making All NBA. It's all good. It's possible. You can make All NBA while making All-Star team. It's possible.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. What else you got, Sharon?
Yeah, but no, that's the big thing. Move the 3-point contest. And also I would probably, the skills competition is okay, but I would get rid of it. I would actually bring back the horse contest.
Okay, yeah.
Take the crazy shots in the All-Star game, get it out in the horse competition. That way we can get that regular shots in a game in a game format. So bring back the horse competition. Dane, you want to pull it from 50? Let's see, can Scotty Barnes come behind you and hit from 50? He won't. But let's see.
He won't. Chill on my cousin Scotty. All right. For me, first of all, with the All-Star game, Sean, you said this last show, if not the 2 shows ago. The winner, let's do East versus West, and the winner of the game, the conference automatically get home court advantage in the finals, like baseball does. Let's do that.
Nah, no. You can't devalue.
They don't do it anymore, but baseball used to do that. Yes.
Let's do that because now
you can't devalue the regular season. You can't devalue the regular season.
Look, you devalued the All-Star game. This is supposed to be the battle of the greatest basketball players gathering for one game. You're never gonna see Curry, LeBron on the same team, Curry, Jokic on the same team, Luka and Joker on the same team. And you devalued that. I don't want to hear it. So you devalued it already because they devalued the regular season to a point where they had to put the in-season tournament in and add a 65-game rule. So
no. Clarify. No. It was the purpose of the in-season tournament is to bring extra attention to compete with the no. It's to compete with the other sports during that time, SB. It's not because they valued the regular season. It's not the case. But they literally said it.
But they can tell you that. But the viewership during that early point of time was down, and it wasn't just necessarily to compete with. I understand football going on.
It's definitely because of football.
That's okay. Saturday and Sundays is the only Sundays you ain't doing nothing on that. But what about the other days during the week? What about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Even they did. Like remember Thursday. Like literally every single game the NBA shared on the 3 or 4 games that football does play, they lose. You're not going to compete.
But you see, when they had their game for the NCAA tournament, though, they had them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
They schedule away from football.
Yeah. So even they still had games that were scheduled away from football during that time. It wasn't bad because people feel like nobody took that first half of the season as well. Anyway, they knew after All-Star break is go time. That's where everybody really started watching too. So that played a part. I'm not saying what you're saying ain't right. I'm just saying it was another part of that too, though. For the dunk contest, this how you fix the dunk contest, right? Stephen A. Screaming A. I'm saying this to you. Stop effing blaming LeBron why the dunk contest is bad. The man is on 20 years. It's over with now. Stop saying, hey, nobody compete because LeBron. This been 20 years gone past that time. That's the first step to fixing the dunk contest. And then 2, start pushing an incentive for the younger guys. I believe, 30, you said this. when your first 2 or 3 years when you in the league to get in the dunk contest. Push for that. But you go always try to blame one dude who on the tail end of his career because this happened in what? Early 2000s. That's over with now. We done had stars come in and compete like the Blake Griffins, Zach LaVines, all that. We done had guys compete during that time. So it ain't necessarily saying you got to be the best player in the league to compete. We just say you need a star to compete. You got guys like Josh Zion right now who ain't compete yet. Ant-Man who ain't compete yet. Early in their career. Start pushing for making a youth thing and make you guys compete early. And also, I agree with the other points you said. Push the three-point contest, and it's a shooting league. Push that to the end. I wouldn't mind keeping the skill competition, but you know what you can add to the All-Star weekend that make people compete? Or, matter of fact, if you take the dunk contest out for the year to add this, bring back the 1v1s. Bring back the 1v1s for All-Star. I guarantee you players will play hard for 1v1s. And I guarantee probably Kyrie Irving going to get in there because he's been thirsty for that. I'd rather see a 1v1, probably like best of 5 or score to 5 or score to 3 in a 1v1 style tournament during an All-Star game. I guarantee you that'll be way more entertaining than what we've seen for the dunk contest recently. I think
you're gonna see a lot of people ducking that 1v1. I'm being real.
I know who ain't ducking. Kyrie ain't gonna duck. Kyrie gonna be the first person to probably win the 1v1 turf. They're gonna turn into the Kyrie Irving award. But I think
if they do the 1v1, they gotta keep it. They gotta keep it with weight classes. No one wants to see Joel Embiid versus Kyrie. Like, don't waste people's time.
you gotta do it by position. I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool with that because Joel Embiid get that work. And Joel. I mean, but if Kyrie get the ball first, I don't know.
And you can't make it take if you make it 1-on-1. Nah, you gotta give somebody a chance.
Yeah. Cause I know people like to say the back in the day one. I think it was it like Kareem? Was it Kareem versus what? Dr. J?
Dr. J. Kareem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they tried to use that one video as an excuse. I'm like that though, that didn't count the same. Like we got a lot of these ISO 1-on-1 players nowadays who always talk that smack. I love that. I wish Melo was in his prime. If they bring that out, I think Melo's prime would be nice. But on to the next one. This is one thing I want to talk about, right? And this is going to dive into a deeper conversation, guys. So obviously we had the 3-point contest, but we had something else happen after. We had Sabrina versus Curry, right? And with the Sabrina versus Curry, if everybody know the backstory of Sabrina scored the most points in the 3-point contest, which I'm going to be fair. They asked this question outside of the Liberty Stadium to a lot of people with Liberty jerseys on. Who will win 3-point contest? Everybody says Sabrina. And sometimes the delusion is bad, but also I didn't get as mad because it's fandom respect. This was a complete waste of our time, and this is another part of the downfall of the WNBA. And also, Kenny Smith had a point where he said something about to make it fair, let Sabrina shoot from the women's 3-point line, which makes sense. But now they said he's sexist because he said that. And that's the real problem with the WNBA, where it's a complete downfall. And I'm going to get into that after. But I want to know, what was your guys' reaction to having Curry versus Sabrina? I thought it was a complete waste of time. And it was just another ploy to play on a problem that we have in the world of society. And another part to play on the downfall of the WNBA because they too busy comparing themselves to the men instead of just trying to be their own league. I knew it was going to be a waste of time.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great showcase of WNBA talent. And most importantly, if the WNBA is smart, they should adapt what the NBA did and adjust their rules to appeal to that style. Mm-hmm. It's proven. People like offense. The casual fan views offense. Your league is predicated off your appeal to the casual fan. So the casual fan likes offense. So the best way to promote offense is what? Shooting. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, on top of that, you also attract yourself to the audience that you need to attract yourself to, which is women. Women need to view themselves when they watch WNBA. So why not? No. Like just how the same reasons why AI became popular. Steph Curry himself became popular because majority of people see themselves within that person. They're like, in imagination, they're like, oh, it's possible I can make it to the NBA if I develop that skill. So you showing that women are capable to shoot like that. And matter of fact, the fact that it was at the NBA 3-point line range, and she had a great performance like that, only showed
Yeah.
the capability of women. And I think it was a great display of WNBA talent, as well as a hint towards possible appeal that can actually grow with the WNBA. Because what the biggest thing too, the problem with WNBA, if you look up the top 10 most popular women in the US right now, over 5, 6 of them are college women.
Mm-hmm.
College.
I'm glad you
Not
said that.
WNBA, college. So just like the NBA, adjust your rules to allow some of that talent to come in early, and don't limit these women who come in to a certain style of play that isn't appealable to the masses. Because shout out to Cheryl Swoops, that was one of her reasons. That was one of her critiques. She was like, unfortunately, the WNBA we play a certain style of ball,
Mm-hmm.
and just like any quality team, you need to build your offense around your best player's best attribute, and not the
Yep.
other way around.
Agree. Hold on, wait, but before you
What
go, Sean. True, I didn't say she didn't represent the WNBA. I just said it was a complete waste of time, and I said I would explain more after I let study and Sean go. I didn't want to just go on a whole rant, but I can definitely tell you after that. I did not say she didn't represent the WNBA. I did not say that. But go.
Yeah, so for me, I thought it was I always think about the skill sets from the women's game and the men's game that really aren't that far apart. And shooting is one of those skill sets. Um, so the fact that they were able to do essentially a battle of the sexes, which we've seen in sports before, a lot in tennis especially, I think was cool. Um, I understood Kenny's point. I didn't like it in that moment because she shot well. Like it wasn't like she completely got dominated. She hit 26 from the men's line. Yeah, she was using a WNBA ball, but she hit 26. Like it took Curry to the last rack to beat her. So I hated the point at the moment, which again is atypical of Kenny Smith to say something that makes no sense in that particular moment. So that's neither here nor there. In my view, I think it's an opportunity. Because again, we're gonna see somebody like Caitlin coming to the WNBA here probably in the next couple of years. I don't know when she's eligible. Don't really care. But the point is she'll be coming in. She's like a college female Curry. Take advantage of that coming in to get some cross pollination in terms of how you market the sport. But I didn't think her performance the other night necessarily is going to save the WNBA or help the WNBA. The WNBA got more problems than that, honestly. And but again, was it a good performance? Yeah, she did her thing. Can't take nothing away from her. Right? And anytime somebody does something like that, any attention it brings, I think, is good, but it's not going to save the league.
Yeah. Now, reason I said I was going to go on my rant, right? Because the real problem with WNBA is this. Like, I can acknowledge and agree to the fact, Sean, what Kenny Smith said, maybe bad timing because also she did a good job, but it wasn't like nothing was really wrong with what he said. That's what my problem come in. Is like every time you try to make a suggestion or like started asking like they need to open up to change or make rules like the NBA is doing, make change, they frown upon it. And that's what my problem is. They are so defensive. It's a lot of people who sit here and tell us it's 30. I know I just sent you a Go James Kingdom not too long ago, where you will argue with somebody who's a Jordan fan, and you will tell me that the 90s was the greatest era of basketball, and they literally shortened the three-point line during the era that you telling me that's the greatest era of basketball. So you telling me that you're too good to push the three-point line up, lower the rim to make your league better, where Michael Jordan, who is known as the greatest player ever, played in the league. Well, some people, which is not the greatest era of basketball, who believe is the greatest, they shorten the three-point line. So what makes y'all more different than everybody else? The players don't want to improve the league. The people who run the league don't want to improve the league, because the reason why the people don't run the league don't want to improve the league, we got a lot of young women who have so much talent, so much popularity, and fits the narrative of what the media and the social media era is to help the league grow, but you don't want to make roster spots for them, or you still got these old veteran players who still, no matter, they probably is better than these young players coming in because they're not already used to WNBA style, but you got to incorporate new faces in the league. Perfect example, Tia Cooper was very popular. I'm not saying that she could come and be the best player in the league, but there's no way that she should not be on the roster. It's a couple players that went to different schools who were very popular who cannot make a roster spot, and it does not make sense. So now what if Caitlin Clark comes to the league? They don't really like how she playing, and they pushed out because you got – shout out Darren Taurasi. She's a legend, and she's one of the best players ever. But she's 41 going on 42 in the league, retired. Make space for the next person so the league can grow and expand. One of the greatest franchises in WA history, the Houston Comets, don't exist no more. How? That's like saying that Bill Russell did what he did with Boston, and then later on they just canceled Boston out. That makes no sense to me. And that's the real problem with the WNBA. The players don't want to accept change. The people who run the league don't want to add younger new faces. The people who run the league don't want to manage the league, right? They literally feel like they just run the league for a paycheck. And that all stems in a big problem in a big pot of why the WNBA has the problem. Because it's not that women plays in the league, because we see that women college basketball does well. The championship game of the women's college basketball probably had more views than the whole WA in the season, because they market the team, they market the players, they know what to do. I think the WNBA need to talk to the people who run college basketball for women and figure out what they're doing to make it. Because it's not that women playing, because I hate when they use that excuse that they be doing that because it's women. It's not, because college basketball doing successful. We see Caitlin Clark, every game sells out. Every game that goes on TV, the views are high. I think the WNBA problem stems from everything I had just said. And that's why the WNBA is not successful.
I think the players will be more willing to do so if the WNBA players, if they I gotta put this, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If they made the game more individualized, I think they'd be more with it. If they have more freedom of play, more diversity of expression, I think they'll be more with it. But I don't know who's running the WNBA currently for the marketing. They're not doing a good job appealing to women. When you hear I came across some surveys of why women aren't watching WNBA. The number one reason is sex. They label it as sexual advertisement. Most women, when thinking WNBA, they think of, a certain sexuality. They think it's masculine. The second thing is, like, the second reason was lack of a face. Simply put, they feel like I said before, when you sell someone something, right? They have to visualize themselves either using it or becoming it. Mm-hmm. So women women after they see in WA aren't as relatable as they feel. So in order to do so, like you said, SB, continue to have a constant cycle of new faces, continue to market the team, and also adjust the style of play where women, because let's be honest, you should try to focus your advertising towards women, the biggest and most loyal consumers in America. Advertise towards women, grow your fan base, and have a style of play that appeal to the casuals. That's what every sports league does. The NFL adjusted more offense to what? Appeal to more casuals. Same thing for the NBA. Same thing for baseball. We sped the game up to appeal to more casuals. That's what they got to do.
Bro, and then before you go, Sean, this like, bro, I ain't never seen a league where you have players who drafted and like this was the Boston girl draft. I think like 2 or 3 players that were drafted like in the top 5 got cut. Like how is your top draft picks getting cut off the roster? You supposed to make sure they stay on the team. That makes no sense to me, dog. But go ahead, Sean. My fault.
Yeah, no. You good. No, I would say I think a couple things that the WNBA can do more than probably any league is take advantage of NIL. And what I mean by that is you got high school and college girls who are benefiting very greatly from NIL. Okay, like Angel Reese, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You should already be having a marketing plan around how you're going to market this young lady once she comes to your league.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because she's going to bring eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have to take advantage of NIL. Right? Amateur women who taking advantage of NIL, who are building their individual brands, you tap into that. Right? Is it going to completely fix your game? No, but it's going to help.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. The second thing is once you're at the point where you realize, hey, listen, we don't have enough teams. Now they're supposed to be expanding because San Francisco is getting a team.
Oh,
that's
really?
going to be owned by the Warriors. So clearly that's going to create more jobs. We see that there are a lot of women's basketball players who can play. And if the jobs are available and are there, you have opportunity for more teams. Make sure you got the job opportunities for them. That's the second thing. The third thing is it will never be equal to the NBA. Let's be very, very clear, right? It will never be equal to the NBA because you don't play as many games. However, you got to start making sure that some of the perks of playing in the WNBA match the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
The overseas product, the overseas treatment of these players cannot be better than it is here at home.
Mm-hmm. They don't have lottery protection, which is crazy. They're the only you can't have a league without lottery protection.
That makes no sense, dog. Like what? Come on, bro. Tell me how that makes sense. You don't have no lottery protection.
Yeah. So, and I will say this real quick too. There's going to be a young lady, presumably in about 4 years, who's going to be coming into the WNBA. She's a high school senior now, if I'm not mistaken. She's going to the University of Florida. Her name is Miara O'Neal. Her dad is Shaquille O'Neal. When you got NBA legends who have daughters who are playing high school and college basketball, tap into that, especially if they can play. And this girl, I don't know if y'all seen her. She's 6'4".
No, she can play. She can play.
Ball.
She can play. She can play.
You got to tap into that.
Honestly, Sean, crazy part about Sean is 30. I think they was harping their eggs on the basket because with RPGG and Kobe, I think they was harping on Kobe to take over. They knew the GG train was coming, and they knew once Kobe took over, Kobe know what's smart with basketball. Why did y'all depend on that? Y'all should be, like you said, you got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese coming in. You should already have a marketing game plan and honestly do what the NBA did a couple times. If you got to rig the draft to send her somewhere that's going to make y'all much money, do it.
Yeah.
The league do it all the time. It's about business right now. So if you got to go send Caitlin Clark to the Sparks just because the Sparks going to go, I send her to LA right now. San Fran getting the team, I send her there right now. Angel Reese, I said it. Look, I'd have said Patrick Ewing get sent to the Knicks. I'd have said Derrick Rose get sent to the Bulls. I'd have seen LeBron get sent to Cleveland. Business will always come first. You gotta let it do what it do, and then also bring the young people in. NBA, the one thing I said the NBA do smarter. I see Jamal Crawford. I forgot whatever one of his last games, close one of his he done dropped 50, 20. Jamal Crawford show he still can play. We appreciate your efforts, Jamal, but you're going to have to go ahead and move to the side. We got to bring this young person up. You got to do that in the WNBA too. We appreciate your efforts. You have been great to this league, but bro, you on year 20. We got to bring this young person up. Bring a fresh face to the league. Bring the new people to the league. You got to take that chance at some point. Unless they like LeBron, that's why I say it was a bad example to use Diana Taurasi because she's like literally one of the best players in the league, but she finna be 42, my guy. Hang it up. How long you gonna play? Let it go. You got to hang it up at some point. He said, shout out Uncle Freeze. He said, why can't the WNBA game just speak for themselves? Because the product, because they're not marketing the product right. And they're not bringing new faces in the league because it's literally, you see women's college basketball who does better. They get way more viewership. Sean, you know what? Next show, I'm going to see if my cousin free. My cousin is a D1 coach in Houston. I always say it wrong. Houston Tilliston. He's a D1 women's college coach. I'm going to bring him on next episode. So he can actually explain it better.
I got a relationship with a former WNBA player. If we want to try to get her on, I can try to get her on.
Please try to get her on because I want to have we're going to have this real conversation because it's not necessarily always like the game can't just speak for themselves because it's more than just the game. Because look how long it took for the NBA to become as big as it did. It was more than just the game. It blew up in the 90s. The 90s with Jordan. You had to add more to the game. Oh, Mr. Airness. Him, the shoes. You had to add all the spadazzle on top of it. You had to market Jordan. His airness. You had to do all that. Magic, the Magic Man. Showtime, like, you got to add some bedazzle to it. There's no bedazzle to it.
You should market the game, but shouldn't fall too much in the individual. Because at the end of the day, you want loyal customers for the long term.
Yes.
I don't want just Cynthia Cooper fans. That's those fan base gonna last for maybe 7 to 10 years. I want Sparks fans.
No,
it's gonna last for a lifetime.
And then hold on before you go, Sean. The league, this what WNBA gotta realize, right? YouTube is comparing yourself to the man. This is year 75 years in. I'm older than the WNBA. I'm older. I'm born in 93. I'm older than WNBA. You gotta look at the blueprint of what everything the NBA did. You in the 60s. This is the Bill Russell era. This is like the Bill Russell era of the WNBA. That's what they gotta realize. This is the Bill Russell, Jerry Russ, Big O era. You need to take that blueprint from there and look up every mistakes and everything they did and try to push it. Just try that stuff. Stop acting. Y'all ain't been, the league ain't older than 35, 30. The league ain't older than 30 years. I think when the first WNBA was what, 95? 96? 97. I was born in 93. I'm older than the league. Act like y'all, this is the Bill Russell era of the league. Y'all gotta grow and get that guy or get that team and let it dominate. Y'all was close with it with the Houston Comets and y'all let them go. But I digress. Two more, then we up out of here. 30. Two more if we get more time. The Nets dismiss Jacques Vaughn. Is any of you guys shocked about this?
No.
Unfortunately, no. I'm surprised the only thing I'm surprised is so far he's the only person fired from the Nets. There's a certain GM, that's gonna be lost his job. To be honest with you.
You can go ahead. Go ahead and say his name. Go ahead and say his name.
Nah.
Go ahead and say his name. Go ahead and say
Sean
his name.
Marks, man. Yo, Sean Marks need to get out of here, bro.
I say, look, Sturdy. I'm gonna tell you right this. Sean sent me the picture, right? I'm gonna read right. I text him verbatim. I was like, he sent me Jacques Vaughn got fired. I say, I seen this. I wonder what happened. Sean say, I think the 88 and 23 in the last 31 game doesn't help. But why does Sean Marks does not get the smoke? And I literally said, Sean Marks should be sitting. Sean Marks' seat should be hotter than catfish grease at the Sunday service. I don't know how he still got a job, dog. I don't know how he still got a job, brother. At the Sunday, it should be hotter than catfish grease at the Sunday service. That shit should be boiling hot. How he
Real
still
talk.
got a job?
How many GMs get to hire 4 head coaches?
Not too many.
So he's hired Kenny Atkinson, Steve Nash, Jacques Vaughn, and now Kevin Ollie.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question. Especially that's that short of time frame too. No, that's crazy.
Come on
Yeah.
now.
And this is all since the bubble. That was 4 years ago.
Then
Yeah.
don't add on to the you sign Kevin Durant, you sign Kyrie Irving, you get rid of all your assets for James Harden, then you lose Kevin Durant, you lose James Harden, and you lose Kyrie Irving. You don't get none of half of what you sent out.
Yeah, that's the real issue, SB. Like talent
Come
comes
on
and
now.
goes in different ways, but like they're going to be bad. Sean, they're going to finish bottom. They look like going to be finished bottom three in the East, and they
And
don't got their
nobody
draft pick.
they don't got
They
their
have to
draft
have
pick. Oh my
That's
Houston
crazy.
God.
basically took the draft.
Oh my God. And they didn't even trade nothing to try to get some capital back. Nothing. They did nothing.
That's wild.
This probably one of the. Hey, I can't wait to. I ain't see a lot of Big Fan Breezy videos, or I ain't see Leaf been talking crazy. I ain't see y'all. Y'all been very quiet lately. I'm about to pull up on y'all too. Y'all been very quiet. Y'all been talking all about my Bulls. Y'all finna finish bottom in the East, and y'all fired the coach. But only one thing I have a question though too, right? When you know you're a mediocre team, what's the point of firing your coach mid-season? You might as well just wait till the offseason because it ain't gonna get no better anyway. What Ali gonna do at this point that Jacques Vaughn ain't did? I just feel like once you mediocre, like say if like the Bulls are finna fire our coach. I don't even want to say that man's name, but Billy Donovan. But what's the point of firing Billy Donovan right now? We might just rock out until the end of the season. Ain't nothing gonna change.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
and the Nets offense was awful. Like it was not good. It was very predictable. All that stuff, blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think John Vaughn did himself any favors, but the roster construction is a big part of the problem. It's a huge part of the problem. So again, Sean Marks, take some ownership. You built this roster of 19 small forwards and 17.
no, that's why most people thought the Nets were like, oh, okay, you good. You got some of the best assets in the league. You're gonna get some draft compensation. All you did was let Spencer Dinwiddie go. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
bad. That's it. So last segment of the day. Sean Sturdy, and you are a Marvel fan. So Sean has a theory, right? That the Golden State Warriors and their run is the MCU. It's equal to the MCU. He told me this earlier. I was like, nah, Sean, you might be crazy. Once he actually explained it to me, I like it kind of made sense. So Sean, tell Sturdy how the Golden State Warriors the MCU.
Okay, so obviously Sturdy, we know the MCU started in 2008, technically, right? But at the time, we didn't know it was going to be an MCU, right? Started with Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., right? Nobody could have known what that was going to be. That's Steph Curry getting drafted in 2009. The Warriors did not know what it was going to be, right? But they got him. They figured out, you know what? Hey, listen, we got something special. So over phase one, just like during the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you start building. So a couple of years later, you get Captain America, you get the first Thor, you get Klay Thompson, you get excuse me, you get Draymond the next year, Harrison Barnes, Festus Ezeli, and that's your phase one, 2012. What comes out in 2012? The first Avengers movie, right? Realize, you know what? Hey, listen, we really got something here, right? So fast forward, you get in the phase, you get into that later in that phase, blah blah blah. 2013, not a perfect team, you still got to figure out. Okay, you got Andre Iguodala. Should you start him? Should you come off the bench? Kind of going through your Iron Man 3, your Guardians of the Galaxy. You hit on Winter Soldier. You get Bogut. All that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And you realize, you know what? Hey, listen, we got ourselves something here special, right? 2014, 2015, you get to your Avengers, Age of Ultron, you get the Ant-Man. and you're like, okay, you know what? Listen, we had a really good run. We had a really good, but now it's time to take it to the next level. So we go into the 2016 season and we go on this crazy run, just like the MCU did, because you get Civil War, you get Doctor Strange, you get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's literally them after 73-9 getting Kevin Durant. And then they go on this super crazy run. You get Ragnarok, you get Black Panther, you get you get Infinity War. Literally the craziest, probably three movie run, probably for the MCU. Same thing with the Warriors. They go on this crazy run. And then, you get to 2019, you get, you're building up, you understand the end game is near, just like the end of the Warriors run is probably near. And, you get Captain Marvel, which is the Draymond KD fight in with the Clippers. It wasn't good, but you know what? It didn't completely break you because you still get the end game, right? Just like Captain Marvel didn't completely break them because you still get the end game. 2019, we get end game. End game is the Infinity War end game or the peak and the pinnacle, but you realize it's the end, right? KD leaving, is Downey dying, is Cap dying, and it's like, okay, well, now we got to figure it out. What do we got to do? Well, we're gonna draft. We're gonna suck. We're gonna draft young because we realize Clay is out, and and we need to draft young. So you draft Wiseman, you draft Kuminga, you draft Moody. Kuminga is probably your Shang-Chi. Maybe it's your WandaVision, but you realize, what? Maybe Wiseman and Moody, maybe there are, maybe those are our Black Widow, movies, or maybe that's our, Multiverse of Madness. We didn't necessarily hit on that like that, but you know what? We can still go on a pretty good run. In 2022, they dropped something that, hits on a really good run, right? Because you get Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Way to end the Spider-Man trilogy. That's the Warriors winning the championship in 2022. And everybody thought, oh, you know what? They're back. They can still do this and blah, blah, blah. But ever since then, we've gotten She-Hulk and we've gotten these crappy projects.
Madam Web.
We got the Marvels.
Not part of the MCU.
Yeah, we got the Marvels. We got the Marvels. We got, the Secret Invasion, which tanked towards the end. The Warriors are the MCU. That's literally what they are. And that is my premise. They hit on something that they didn't realize they hit on early with Steph, just like the MCU did with Iron Man, and going all the way through. We got the end game, just like they did with getting KD to that already serious championship contender. But ever since then, we've been hoping we're not so much hoping, but we've been wondering, can they get that back? And they might have had a little moment here that they got it back, but they'll never get back to that 08-19 run.
All right, sure. So there's two questions in the comment. First question: what is the 3-1 failure in the finals equivalent to the MCU?
The 3-1.
Remember, that's the pivot. That's the pivot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
So
question.
what's the MCU equivalent?
The MCU equivalent of the 3-1 failure in the finals. Oh man.
I'll say it like this, Sean. I'll say it like this. Remember,
yeah. Go ahead.
Remember, 3-1 deficit. Remember, if they are successful, KD don't go to the Warriors.
Right.
So just like in MCU, what is something that was a pivotal moment? If it was a different way, it could have changed it up in that same time frame.
In that same time frame, I'm going to say it's Age of Ultron, which is the weakest of the Avenger movies.
Okay. That can't be. That's not 2016. I definitely disagree, Sean. But same question. Same question.
That's 2015. It's 2015.
Oh, same question. What is for the MCU? Do you think? Okay, who has the greatest chance of coming back? The MCU or the Warriors dynasty?
Neither.
Sean.
No, you
Right,
ain't getting no cop out, Sean. No, Star, don't get no cop out. You gotta
Sean.
pick
Let's
one.
get to the comment. Let's get to the comment, Doc. I know, Sean. Let's get to the comments, man.
Neither. I think both. I think we've seen the best from both of them.
No, Sean, come on, man. We got.
Let's think about it, Sturdy. Perhaps the Warriors, just like the MCU, caught lightning in a bottle. You can't recreate that. As much as you might try, you can't recreate it. Whether it's oversaturation, whether it's other franchises have caught up to you. Because remember, the Warriors were saying, "Hey, listen, we're gonna take this small ball thing and we're gonna use it because we're ahead of the game," and everybody's caught up. And now it's like now you're trying to still play small ball when everybody's playing with two bigs. Mm-hmm. That's the MCU.
Here's the thing, Sean. Here's why it's not the MCU. One, the competitors of MCU hasn't really come to the MCU, to be honest. The second thing is with the things that MCU, like I'm saying, the things that the MCU has lined up, there's a realistic hope. Blade, Wolverine versus Deadpool, which is part of the MCU, by the way. The X-Men, the Fantastic Four. Those are a glimpse of realistic hope. The Warriors, on the other hand, Sean, they won a handful of teams that's under the second April. They have no draft picks. If they re-sign Klay Thompson, that's the official nail in the coffin, which means they have no real assets they can flip. The MCU actually has hope to coming back. You might not get the same lightning in the bottle, but you probably get like a miniature son or something. You know what I'm saying?
So again, they are the Warriors. So the MCU is the Warriors last year. It's a second round team, but it's not the dominant force that we once knew. That's the MCU.
Yeah.
But I'm saying at least there's a light. There's some sort of glimpse of light for the MCU. There's no glimpse for the Golden State Warriors. I will agree with you this, Sean. It's a great Marvel analogy, but I think you went to the wrong universe. The Warriors dynasty. I'm about to get to you. The Warriors dynasty. No. The Warriors dynasty is actually the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series.
Okay, explain.
Remember, just like the Warriors. Coming into it, we did not watching that movie first time. You did not expect to be big as revolutionary as it was, right? Okay. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series actually set the tone for the modern superhero genre. Obviously unofficially Blade, but we ain't gonna get to that. It set the tone, right? Just like the Warriors. The Warriors style of play, their dynasty set the tone, right?
Right.
Now, a lot of people forget there was a slight hiccup between production for filming Spider-Man 2. That was 2016 finals. They adjusted, and then you resulted in some of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest superhero movies, not just Marvel, but superhero movie we've ever seen, similar to the dynastic run of the KD Warriors.
So what's the Amazing Spider-Man is then?
No. I'm saying we stick with Tom Brady. We've got one more movie, right?
Okay. No problem.
The fall off, right? Because people forget the biggest break of that franchise was between Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. Just like the biggest break of championships between was the KD run in 2022. Just like 2022 in Spider-Man 3 movie, we saw that run and we're like, oh man, this has a good chance to be a great movie. Right, Sean? This has a great chance. They might have something here. Then all of a sudden, Eddie Brock came in, too much MJ scenes, not enough Harry scenes, too much Sandman. They was doing too much. The Warriors brought in Jordan Poole, got Wiseman, then developed Poole, Drummond. It went down the drain fast, just like Spider-Man 3. So I think Sean was on a great path in analogy of Marvel. I just think he used the wrong series. I think Golden State dynastic run is more equivalent to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy than opposed to the MCU.
So the reason why I use the MCU is the length of time. That Spider-Man trilogy is over 7 years. starts technically when you draft Steph Curry. Now, granted,
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on, no. Think about it. No, think about it. Nobody knew that Steph Curry was going to become what he became. Just like nobody knew Iron Man was going to do what he did.
True.
Because remember,
I can't argue. Like I said,
because remember, Iron Man comes out the same year as what other movie? The Dark Knight.
Yes.
The second of the Batman trilogy.
The Dark Knight was cold.
Right? So the difference is there's a linchpin, there's a point that starts that run. The point that starts each of those runs is you get somebody who nobody has these high expectations for. And they come in and they blow those expectations out of the water. Steph, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Now, you asked me about the 3-1 blown lead. I could argue it might be Iron Man 2 because Iron Man 2 started out really, really well. And then as soon as the shield element comes in, it goes literally.
Because I was going to say, because what was the year for the 3-1 run? Because I'm looking at the chronological order to watch the movie. Because if it's 20, what? If we add 2015 in it, because I was going to say you got 2015 Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man 1, 2016 Captain America Civil War, 2016 Doctor Strange. And then you got already
right. So
man, Sean, that dynasty started in 2015, Sean. Man, I had it perfect. The Tobey Maguire series 7 years. Go to State 7 years.
Hold on, no, come on, man, don't do that. Because it had to start. It didn't start at it started when they drafted Steph.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, Sean. This is a great Discord conversation, man.
Yeah. Now, what ruined this was the MCU. That kind of was the Kang and the Conquer thing they did, bro, bogus. Because I'm trying to tell you that Kang series is gonna bring it back with him being like the new Thanos, and they're gonna do a couple movies with him. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But that they threw a monkey wrench in it. But the worst will still be good. But
the worst done. They're
maybe
SB. After this stream over, check out the Warriors contract situations.
I don't know.
And what the moves they can't make. It's a wrap.
I mean, Steph Curry might take Clay might take a pay cut, man. You never know. Clay might take a pay cut. But okay, Sturdy, one thing we do is before we get up out of here, this episode.
Brother said, is Monte Ellis the Terrence Howard of the MCU? Yes.
100%.
Oh, come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, Monte Ellis was way longer on the Warriors than Terrence Howard was there for 10 minutes, bro. He was in the MCU for like 10 minutes, bro. Out of here.
That was Steph Curry was there.
See, I knew I was on something.
No, Monte Ellis was teammates with Curry for like years. Terrence Howard was in it for 10 minutes, bro. Get out of here to save.
I'm gonna tell you who Steve Kerr is. Steve Kerr is the brothers that directed Civil War and the two Avengers movies and Winter Soldier. That's Steve Kerr.
Who Mark Jackson?
Mark Jackson is Josh Whedon. He was good.
Oh, man.
Next level.
Nah,
exactly.
Sean, we're gonna talk about this in 2 hours, bro. We're gonna talk about this in 2 hours.
I'm just saying. He's that's what it is. All right. It's fine.
All right, episode 53, man. Favorite athlete to wear the number 53. Who y'all got? This is a tough number.
I got a couple. Artist Gilmore. Shout out to Artist Gilmore.
That was my pick. You knew that was gonna be my pick.
Artist Gilmore, and I'm gonna say, did he wear 53? No, he didn't wear 53. He wore 51. Never mind. I'm gonna say Artist Gilmore.
Since you took Artist Gilmore, I got to take the duck. Ah, man, I can't do it. Chocolate. I'm just going chocolate thunder. I'm going Daryl.
Dang, man. I was going
Chocolate Thunder. Chocolate Thunder. Daryl Dawkins. I would go with Daryl Dawkins. Who you got, Sturdy? I mean, you can pick that Chocolate Thunder. He took my answer. I was going Artist Gilmore. I got to put a bull on. If I could put a bull on this, I'll put a bull on this.
I'm not gonna cap. Y'all took the 2 answers I can think of, so I'm Googling right now. But
Just said Daryl Dawkins.
I got one. I'm gonna go to NFL for this one, bro. Let me get Harry Carson for 500.
Harry Carson. He's a
Harry
good one.
Carson.
That's a good one.
Harry Carson.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
a good one. Also, shout out to Mark Eaton, one of the best defenders, the defensive end ever from the Utah Jazz, wore 53 as well.
53 is number.
53 is a weird number to wear in basketball.
Weird number.
No,
It's a weird number.
Chocolate Thunder. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching the show. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Appreciate Ace 30 for coming and taking the time out of his day to join the podcast today. Appreciate you, Sturdy.
Always a pleasure, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate everybody watching. Sean, any last words before we get up out of here?
Y'all take care. Have a great week. Look forward to seeing y'all on Friday.
Yes, sir. Sturdy, any last words before we get up out of here?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new 145 UFC champion. His name is Ilya Taporia. He's a bad man. He stopped Alexander Volkanovski 11-fight win streak.
Now I was shocked that he lost too. I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked that he lost.
Very impressive. But the overall card was good. But the next big card that everyone should be looking forward to, saving your money to get the pay-per-view for UFC 300.
UFC 300.
That's
Who
all
on the card? Who on that card?
That's they got the main event is Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. Zhang Wang Li, she's fighting. What's his name? Aljo is facing who's dude's name? Let me just pull the card up, man. I know the top three fights. But the whole card is stacked.
Hey, I like that. I like the sound of that.
All right, here we go. The whole card is this. We have Alexander Pereira, Jamal here for his Pereira for the heavyweight championship. Zhang Wei Li versus Xing Jinzhong versus strawweight women's title. This one I remember. We got for the BMF title, Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. We got Alex Oliveira versus Armin Tarusin. That's the underrated fight. You got Yuri Prohaska versus Alexander Roshnik. And Aljo making his 145 debut against Calvin Hayter. And a bunch of other fights that's very underrated. You should look out for David Figueroa. This is the fight. This is the most underrated fight. David Figueroa versus Cody Garbrandt. That's the fight you should look for.
Okay.
That's the fight you should look for.
I'm gonna have to check that out. And Lee, Mr. Leonard, we see your comment. We was past that point. See you late. You always running late, man. Mr. Leonard.
Always late, bro.
Always late. But appreciate you guys. No last words for me. It's another great show as always. Appreciate Sturdy for coming through. Appreciate Sean. You as always. See you guys on Friday. Be looking out for the videos throughout the week. Yeah, that is it. We are out of here. Peace.